He knew what he can do before he even got in this ring. I looked at him face to face and I said, man, you gonna get this? He said, Canelo can't beat me, Tim.
Fight fans, welcome back.
Protect yourselves at all times. Listen to my commands. Touch them up.
The casual fans wanted blood.
Are you ready to feel the Mexican power, Terrence?
His Excellency wanted entertainment.
And let's show Netflix the real boxing.
And the purists wanted answers.
Can Bud Crawford pull the upset and become this era's GOAT?
Will there be a moment where Crawford realizes that he's in over his head, moving up to 168?
Alvarez commits to the right hand and lands.
It's gonna be a moment.
Not only is he not backing up from Canelo's power, but he may be doing more damage with his own in these exchanges.
Art is made in hindsight, and the significance, value, and grandeur of such a high-profile event can only really be appreciated once the stadium empties, the crowds dissipate, and the heart rates drop.
I don't know how you can put words to describe what we watched.
Tonight he proved that he's the greatest boxer to ever live.
But there's more to the story. So here's a look at the past, present, and future.
This is furious action!
Following 2025's fight of the decade between Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford. Welcome to a Motivedia presentation.
Let me tell you why boxing might be entering a golden age right now.
From the moment it was first signed, this one felt like more than just a fight.
The fight that is going to change the landscape of boxing in America.
It felt like the closure of an important chapter, not just for American boxing, but boxing as a whole.
Maybe it's gonna be bigger, but look, boxing is always big and big and bigger and bigger and bigger.
And with the Fury Joshua box still left unticked, and Gervonta and Shakur drifting further apart than ever, rather than let this era fizzle into a distant memory, Canelo, Crawford, and Turki Al Sheikh ensured it went out with a bang. One man out to achieve the unthinkable.
3-time undisputed champion in the male division.
The other to prove he was still untouchable.
Don't get me wrong, he's a great fighter, like I say, he's no Canelo. Born ready.
Born ready.
Thank you. Thank you.
By fight week, any of the preformed criticisms or Madrimov doubts had been shut away.
Based on how Crawford looked at 54, do you think talk of him facing Canelo should stop?
That's ridiculous. That's why we have weight classes. Size does matter.
Canelo Crawford, obviously Terrence just rocked up there. What do you make of his chances?
Chance. He have a great chance because of his heart, his talent, and also his game plan and his strategy.
Instead, a new 168 battle-ready frame swayed high-profile opinions and narrowed the betting odds to within touching distance.
Canelo Alvarez, as he faced his toughest opponent to date, I believe.
He match him punch for punch like Golovkin.
He's just keeping up the tempo, throwing.
That's what's interesting to see.
That they deserve respect, and instead of us telling them what they can do, let them show us what they can do.
There's a lot of unknown here, so anybody who tells you that they know, they're not telling you the truth because none of us know.
Max Kellerman was back, and the big fight feeling was here.
Because of Netflix, this will be the most watched fight, championship fight, in almost 50 years.
Legends had thrown in their 2 cents, and a dangerous confidence came from both men on stage.
But like I say, I need to be smart and do my job, and if the knockout comes, welcome.
I see you. You see I'm different.
I see you too.
You see I'm different than all the other ones.
No, I see you. No, you don't look different. You're nothing different.
I'm different.
And while we'd seen all of the familiar faces as the fight approached, to some, it still felt like one very important man was missing. You see, we'd seen Terrence Crawford. He was feeling the moment, smiling, and a lot happier to be there than usual, but we hadn't seen Bud.
You gotta meet force with force.
You said you're like Kobe Bryant, and he played better angry. Do you fight better?
We'd had a bit of an onstage ruckus in New York, But the Piers Morgan interview didn't bring out the same man that eyeballed Amir Khan like he was lunch.
Everybody that they said that was smaller than, that they was bigger and stronger, you see what happened.
Nor the man that took a swipe at Jose Benavidez. And therefore, no signs of the Canelo Alvarez that was forced to retaliate against Plant.
You say 3 nice things about your opponent.
He's a great fighter, he's a great father, cool dude.
Ultimately, you can construct hype, but you can't force hate. But on this occasion, from Crawford, the joviality and friendliness was somewhat of a Trojan horse, because the mean spirit was still there, and it was a split-second head tilt and target lock at the final presser that finally confirmed it.
When did you know that you were going to beat him?
When he signed the contract.
So after seeing Dana squirm a little,
TKO can't make those changes to the Ali Act. Will you still invest in the sport of boxing?
Listen, if you want to be an asshole, let's do it in private and we can do an interview.
and with the Jaron Ennis sparring whispers continuing to blur the lines.
I gotta ask you, people gonna kill me if I don't. How was the work?
The work was great. It's fun, sparring Canelo. Trying to pick his brain. He got I think he like 70 fights in. So I was picking his brain, having fun, and sharpening my tools, That's about it,
Yes, he got sparring with Boots Ennis to emulate that Terrence Crawford style, but is that enough 2 sparring sessions to get his head around those quick switch instincts that Terrence Crawford has?
The downpour of booze would only add fuel to the fire. And Fight Night was about to tell a completely different story. Embracing the hostility with some high-level trolling saw Crawford pull off a Mexican-themed entrance. A nostalgic nod to Floyd Mayweather, who used to don Mexican colors and a sombrero.
He wants to engage them in a negative way to derive energy from it, to show he's not intimidated.
Before beating some of the nation's most beloved fighters.
We got everything from the middle of the gold up. This is going to be good.
They say history repeats itself, and it's a statement never more true than within the confines of the sweet science.
He said, well, if Ray Leonard could beat Marvelous Marvin Hagler, then Terrence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez. He said, same equation. Get in, get out. Get in, get out. Yeah. Over and over and over. Right. That's what Ray did so effectively against Hagler. And it frustrated Hagler. And the more you frustrate the opponent, the better off you are.
Can Bud Crawford pull the upset that generations from now, this generation will say, I don't care who you bring. That's the best guy I've seen.
The fight started exactly the way we expected. A cagey opener with a few early glimpses of success. A second-round smile for me was an early indicator that Crawford had a little more pop than he expected. And while Saul's shots were certainly heavier, Bud was never there long enough for him to start teeing off.
He was looking for looping shots, and when you can't get your jab established, it's hard to land your power shot.
Come to have it 3-0 because he gave the first to Crawford, which Crawford.
Poker faces were in full effect. Yep and nope gestures as the punches rained in, reminiscent of the first Golovkin fight.
Right hand. Canelo shakes his head. That usually means he got hit. As Canelo shakes his head, Golovkin shakes his head back and said, well, what about that?
We know that Crawford is the sharper boxer. What we haven't seen yet is what happens if and when Canelo lands something hard upstairs.
But as the minutes passed, it was Crawford putting the final stamp on every exchange.
But he may be doing more damage with his own in these exchanges.
And when he needed to dig in there and exchange punches, he was not only willing to do that, he was successful in achieving that.
And where the Nebraskan's mean streak was disputed in the build-up,
Crawford look very comfortable right now.
It was the attitude of the Mexican called into question when it mattered most.
Teddy Atlas would always say, Canelo was looking to be friends, and Crawford is not looking to be friends.
It looked like Canelo Alvarez almost wanted to walk off at one point.
Yeah, I mean, he was frustrated, and it is frustrating to try and fight a guy, and you want to fight, but this guy's moving well.
Ni te calientes, ni que desesperes, así al pasito, güey. Es difícil, es buen peleador también él.
Moving past the halfway stage, the trade-off was glaringly obvious. The more Crawford gained momentum, the more Canelo lost patience.
Canelo did like some weird leg movement, and he looked like he was hurt in some way of injury.
And that childlike smile and masterful rhythm, to anyone who's watched Terrence in the past, was all too familiar.
That's what boxing's about, people. It's about this. Strategy. That's what he had.
I think it's more than no nonsense.
Round 9 caught fire, and while Crawford never really deviated from his southpaw stance, he never needed to, because the success was coming.
He stepped a little more to Canelo than Floyd, right?
Nobody's ever hit Canelo like that before, ever.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Moments of Alvarez's desperation were met with laser focus, as Bud stayed within his own boundaries, refused to take any unnecessary risks.
Bud just beat the out of Canelo, man! He is so much man!
A fleet-footed, sharp-shooting in-and-out display, capped off, as always, by an unbreakable spirit and relentless engine. A night where Terrence Crawford once again defied the odds to make the face of boxing look distinctly normal.
This has been a masterful performance.
By unanimous decision, the Fighting Pride of Omaha, Nebraska, USA, and new Ring Magazine, an undisputed
Art in fistic form from a man who finally gets his flowers as one of the best to ever do it.
This generation will say about you what the last one said about Floyd and what generations ago they said about Sugar Ray Robinson. They'll say no one could have beaten our guy.
As far as I'm concerned, pound for pound, Terrence Crawford is the best on the planet as we speak right now. He's the man.
A lot of guys prior to you would just come and show up and get the paycheck. And the win for them was just getting in the ring, and they wouldn't necessarily try to win. I said, one thing we're going to say about Bud is he's going to try to win, and win you did.
Oh, I feel great. I feel great. I feel strong. You know, Crawford is a great fighter, skilled fighter. And I get the credit to Crawford, obviously. And I feel great. I still feel the same.
A respectful torch-passing moment between two consummate professionals, and credit of the highest order as the curtains came down.
If you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terrence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
It's wild, because like if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff.
The who did it better Floyd comparisons were inevitable.
But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper, people remember, yeah, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times.
So they didn't want you to face Pacquiao right away?
I'm not ducking and dodging nobody. You know what it is.
No, what is it? Is Bob Arum?
I got a list, but whenever it happened, it happened.
Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time.
Every time that I got a chance, I wiped the floor with him. So just imagine where I would have been at today if I had got them opportunities a long time ago.
Yes. That makes a difference to people.
Do you think Crawford's more likely to beat Canelo before this, or no?
I don't think he should be moving up to super middleweight. There's a limit to greatness, man. There's a limit.
But Terrence Crawford didn't just join a list of Canelo conquerors alongside Mayweather and Bivol. He entered a much more exclusive roster, joining the Ray Robinsons and Ray Leonards.
Is he on the Mount Rushmore of boxers?
Yes.
Yeah?
3-time undisputed.
Like Max said that he is the GOAT of this generation.
He's definitely on the list, bro.
I find it probably almost impossible to go against Roy, but when you go over a longevity and period of time, then the debate starts. Is it Floyd? Is it Crawford? Is it Leonard? Is it Robinson? And you have that's like a different kind of great.
What comes next at 37 years of age will determine how the final chapter plays out.
And who knows? I might go down to 160.
I already told him.
Okay.
I already told him it's your time, bro.
Right.
You deserve $100 million.
When's the rematch, or when does that type of conversation start for you? I already saw you getting called out by folks.
But whether we see Pretty Boy Bud turn into Money Bud, or we see him continue to fight the very best the sport has to offer.
Charlo! Johnny Bang!
There isn't an obvious name. Turkey just tweeted, I think about an hour ago, something like, can David Benavidez, still make £168?
El monstruo Benavidez!
The future, with its bad blood, fantasy fights, and agile operators, is guaranteed to be exciting for the new face of boxing.
Thank you, GOAT, because you are the GOAT of this era.